Hi Gemini, welcome to your September 2015 Alchemy Scope. So let's get right into it. Firstly, I'm a few days late on this one. These do run new moon to new moon, and we had our new moon on the 14th of August. And so let's get right into it. So this is still going to apply for this particular monthly cycle, new moon to new moon. We had a very interesting Sabian symbol imbued with, at the degree point, the 21 degree Leo degree point for the new moon, which was a carrier pigeon fulfilling its mission, which if you've tuned in before, you know that the Jupiter Venus conjunction occurred at that same point on July 1st. So that particular symbology is very thick, very ripe, very relevant for us all on a collective basis. And that's interesting to note. So what does that mean? A carrier pigeon fulfilling its mission is about communications arriving. These are communications within yourself, insights coming, clarity coming to you, arising within you, through you. This could also be communications coming to you from outside of yourself, creating the opportunity or the pathway, the opening through which you will optimally take your next step. So there's some event. It also is referring, by the way, to like karmic cycles, the clearing and completions of karmic cycles. So something has completed for you. Something has completed its mission. A carrier pigeon is a messenger, however, as well. So there could be communications, again, coming forward, either within or to you. So this is the whole summer is imbued with this symbology. So that's the new moon Sabian symbol. On the collective, we are all within the cycle of this carrier pigeon. Now, when we look at the particular this 30-day chunk of time, the energy set that's at play for Geminis, as you know, if you've tuned in before at the 6-point holistic alchemy scope, where we take different methodologies and bring them together to create various pictures, various fractals, if you will, of a whole picture of your month. This particular aspect, if we look at the energies for Gemini-centric people, I use the I Ching, because that's something I chose to do, but theoretically we could mix it up at some point in the future and use different aspects to pull up the different flavors, the different themes for each sign going forward. But for now, I'm using the I Ching, which feels very good, actually. You received, so the energy set, the flavor for this particular cycle for Gemini-centric people came up with the I Ching hexagram number 4, youthful folly. And as you know, the I Ching is a stack of 6 lines. They're either solid lines or broken lines. And the stack of 6 lines is divided up into 2 trigrams. And each trigram represents an aspect of nature. Okay, so for number 4, youthful folly, it's constructed of mountain above. The trigram above is mountain. The trigram below is water. Okay, so those are the energies that are playing out for you this month. So let me read here again. This is from the Visionary I Ching. So number 4, youthful folly. Be on guard for careless or rebellious attitudes that are characteristic of youthful inexperience, Gemini. Just as a youth requires instruction, this is a good time to focus on learning your lessons from a patient teacher or life experience. Is there a circumstance in your life that you have failed to comprehend completely? Perhaps because you have failed to appreciate its inherent complexities. Be respectful of anything or anyone who has something to teach you right now. If your inquiry was about a relationship, you may want to ask yourself, which of you is the student, which is the teacher? You or your child, perhaps. In order to be ready for challenging times, let education be an ongoing part of your life. So learn from these times, learn from this cycle. Continually develop the strong mind and will necessary to carry you through confusing times. The wise realize that experience, especially difficult experience, excuse me, but we can, sorry, I lost my place here. The wise realize that experience, especially difficult experience, is a powerful teacher. But we cannot be forced to learn even from experience. Be a humble student, one who delights in learning, one who nourishes his or her expanding awareness. Examine your attitude for factors that limit your openness. So wear your clothes down. Pay attention to that. This is about youthful folly is about becoming the child. Observe how you deal with partners' mistakes. You must let people live their own lives and learn their own lessons. Offer others your wisdom or advice, but only if they are receptive. Otherwise, give up trying to convince them that you are right. That is only exhausting and counterproductive. If people are not receptive, let them proceed, even into difficulty or dangerous circumstances. It is the only way they can learn. And without learning, no one can achieve success. This does not mean that you should not care, just that taking care of someone too much can be harmful. Live and let learn. Okay? So let's take a look at the spread. So again, this month I'm using my 144 card custom deck that I made for myself and that I use for myself. And I've already shuffled, and I'm doing this in chronic spread. So I'm going to go ahead and lay it. I always shuffle, by the way, beforehand because it's time consuming. As you can see, it's a large deck. And I like to have my process be private with the shuffling. Not only is it time consuming, but it's, I don't know, it's a divine act, and I appreciate it. I appreciate that space of working it privately. Okay, you have quite a few cards coming up here, which is good. It's good because it provides a little more detail. I'm gonna have to take a look at this once it's laid. All right, so Gemini, this is a reminder that when I shuffle the deck and when we pull the spread, this aspect of the 6-point alchemy scope is what event or circumstance is the growth edge that is confronting Gemini-centric people, or at least the majority of. This is a general reading. However, if you tune into these frequently, you will find that, fascinatingly, there are many people who can resonate with the particular thematic stories playing out, because these are cycles and patterns, yeah? They're playing out, and it's quite fascinating. So let's take a look. So at the center of the theme, Geminis, for you, or at least a majority of you, you're going to be considering eliminations. It might have to do with a man. It might have to do with other things as well. It might have to do with possessions. It might have to do with, it definitely might have to do with a relationship. And it definitely might have to do with a man who's part of your family. So this could be, you know, a husband or a partner, a relationship partner, or it could be somebody else. You know, it could be another male in the family. And with youthful folly coming up earlier, it could be that a child is inherently involved in your particular story, your theme that's juicy for you this month. So at the center, Gemini, there is going to be, you're going to be considering eliminations. And this could be a significant relationship, just one elimination that's key, or it could be eliminations on a grander scale, maybe to get you more aligned with where you want to go now, what you want to be doing now. There's something, and you know what it could be as well, Gemini, is it could be that the joy that you once had with this man, with this relationship, has shifted, has eliminated, has become limited or non-existent. So it could be that that the joy with this particular man is missing right now. And there are quite a few people out there at this time that are moving through very intense chapters of change. So as we're all going through these alignments, these kind of catapulting, energetic, and situational alignments to get us more in tune with our natural self, the one that's wanting to really flow and surge now, it can be quite difficult. So it could be that you're in this relationship with this partner, husband, and by the way, this could be a wife as well. I mean, this is a general reading, so it could be that your significant other, whether it's a male or, you know, in this case, again, it's a general reading, it could be a female as well. But we're gonna refer to male in this spread. But it could very well be that they are going through a difficult time, and maybe the joy with that person is just non-existent right now. So you're not receiving it like you once did. So the trading, let's see if you can see that. It's a little dark right now. I think you can see it though. So the trading within the family, and this, by the way, is also, this is not the work career card. However, this could involve a work project. But there's something with regard to a place, it could be a workplace, that this family member works at is causing an elimination of joy with this particular partner, okay? So it could be that. Now, Gemini, for you, you're gonna have perhaps, and this is unsurprising really, but some negative thoughts coming up about what is in your greatest good right now. So what is optimal for you? What's the optimal, what's the most aligned path, the most aligned relationship? What is just the most aligned thing in the moment for you now? Because you are going to have some negativity coming up in your thoughts. It could be some depression. It just could be some negative, you know, maybe some dark thoughts come up about, you know, what you've been wanting to happen that hasn't come to pass yet. And so you might be wondering if indeed the eliminations, let's say it's elimination of joy with this particular partner, let's say it's elimination of joy with a particular significant man in your life. It could be a boss. And it could be, by the way, Gemini, it could be your particular action set, because the man card is also the masculine. So it could be that you are feeling a lack of, you're feeling drained emotionally. Your motivation is feeling drained. You could feel that some eliminations that you've been going through recently, whether it be relationship or possessions or money, you know, or love circumstances might have been eliminated, things that you thought were going to happen. You're wondering, is it going to happen? Like what's going on? You know, there's things that are falling away that might be draining you emotionally and might be dragging on your emotional drive right now. So it might be causing depression and causing, you know, this kind of negative mindset, or, you know, you might be perceiving a lot of negativity unfolding about, you know, what's aligned and what's not aligned. You know, there's darkness around what is currently happening, and in regards to how it compares to what you want to have happening right now. This is not unusual. I think a lot of people are going through this, by the way. So, yeah, I mean, there's something, there's definitely a shift happening during the cycle for many of you with regards to what you are receiving, again, from a significant man, from another. And it also could be, like I was just saying, it could be your vitality. Literally, like you might feel completely exhausted and drained. And maybe your vitality is absolutely feeling like it's eliminated right now. And that's not unusual either for a lot of people. So let's take a look. Let's take a look, Gemini, and look at the Ascended Master, okay, that wants to come forward for you right now. So this is, of course, if you've tuned in before, Doreen Virtue's deck, the Ascended Master's deck. And let's take a look and see which master is coming forward for Gemini for this particular cycle as the predominant guidance for you. Clear and shield your energy, El Moria. So if you are in a relationship or you have a particular circumstance with this significant man, whether it be a partner, a husband, a boss, a father, a son, a child, and because the negative thoughts might be emerging, and because there could be some situation emotionally, the joy card did come up in the emotional sector, but it was specifically referring to the joy with that person having been possibly leaving or recently been eliminated. So you are going to be affected by that particular event or that particular circumstance. So the guidance is for you to clear your energy field at this time, which makes sense. And to focus on your dreams. Get out of the focus on any negativity that's showing up in your life experience and focus on what you imagine, what you dream, what you hope, what you want to make manifest in your life. So this is a good one. Let me go ahead and read it too. This is from Doreen's book. Give me 1 second here. Okay. All right. So she says, as a sensitive person, you've absorbed some harsh and toxic energy from other people. This card asks you to stop and call on El Moria and Archangel Michael to clear yourself. They can also clear and elevate the energies in other people, your home or your office. After clearing yourself, ask them to shield you from further intrusions. This process called shielding needs to be conducted once or twice a day. You can also wear a crystal pendant to act as a buffer. I mean, this is what I would say, Gemini. There's a lot of information in the field right now. Consciousness, in the bed in which we are all living. And there's lots of information kind of free-flowing now. It's very electric, and it can be exhausting. And if you are going through any particular life event that is causing you to focus on eliminations or sadness or depression or weight, or feeling like dreams aren't happening and joy has been, you know, that was once there is no longer, yes, you could be definitely generating these particular feelings because the focus is on the negative, but it could also be that you're absorbing the other person's negative energy set. And because the field is so ripe with information now, it is important for all of us. So this is good guidance for all of us, but I would say for Geminis particularly, because I work with some Gemini-centric folks, and there's a lot of activity in the mind that's very rich, and it can be a little overwhelming sometimes. So I think for you, it's a beautiful guidance there. So let's take a look. This is Carolyn Miss's Archetype card deck. And I always pull this up because what I ask is for the quality set. So what quality set is asking to be, is pushing to be evolved within and through Gemini-centric people during the cycle. So let's ask, what quality set, what archetypal quality set is wanting to be matured, seen, awakened, matured, and evolved through Geminis at this time. So let's take a look, Gemini. Gambler. Let me read it first. Actually, let me show it to you quickly. So gambler. Unfortunately, I can't read it because it shows in reverse here. So the lower frequency manifestation is relying on luck rather than hard work. And then the evolved manifestation, willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. This might have come up for another sign that I've already done the scope for this month. So there is a laziness here, which is interesting because with the trading card that came up in the spread, this could be work related. So it could, and again, I mentioned the lack of vitality that might be emerging. So with the elimination of motivation, active motivation, emotional vitality, feeling happy, it might be triggered by an internal knowing, wisdom, that you somehow are not addressing a project or many projects, whether it be a relationship that you're working on or, and I say working very lightly. Relationships take work, of course, but we don't have to go in with the perspective that they are work, because then they become work. If we believe they're work, then they will be work. So I say that a little bit lightly. But the project could be your creative brilliance that wants to come forward now, Gemini. So it could be that you know that there are some things, some projects, some work projects, some communication projects, some creative projects, and it could be involving relationship. So again, the man masculine card could be with another, or it could be your own action set, your vitality see. So this is kind of about stepping up a little bit, isn't it? Relying on luck rather than hard work. Willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. So there's an elevation of inner confidence at this time that's calling to be activated within and through you, Gemini. To trust your gut. And I have to say, with the clear and shield your energy, that's clearly feeding right into that, because clearing and shielding your energy from other is going to inherently tune you in to your own energy flow, to your own soul print, to your own connection to your higher self, to your own intuition. So that's gorgeous. So let's take a look. So the final aspect is looking at the Dakini for you. And again, when I pull up the Dakini, what I ask is, what goddess embodiment? So to become which goddess would be optimal for Gemini during this particular cycle? Which one would allow for least effort and flow? The most bliss, essentially. You received Saraswathi, number 18. Let me read this. Now, again, this is from Penny Slinger 64 Dakini Oracle. I'm not going to read all of it. As you know, if you tuned in before, these are long PDF documents. So I've created an online library that has various things on there, and these documents written by Penny are on there. So let me just read a little bit here so you can get a picture. So number 18, Saraswathi, Gemini, this is for you to embody this month. She is the river of art, knowledge, and culture, flowing from the air of divine consciousness into human consciousness. Who is Saraswathi? She is the Hindu goddess of creation. She holds the first place in the Hindu trinity of goddesses formed by Saraswati, creation, Lakshmi, preservation, and Kali, dissolution. She is like a seed, a prime mover, the vibration at the root of all sound and form. The goddess was originally connected with the Saraswati River. Her name means a flowing woman. So again, with the energy clearing, with the trusting of your intuition, with the art and knowledge and culture coming up here, Gemini, it feels like with any eliminations that you're sensing with regard to relationship or creative projects, it's part of this cycle, but it's also part of the growth edge. So it's about you really getting down to the deep areas of maybe where the vitality is lacking. Again, whether it's in relationship or project, so that you can really see it, really go in there, go into that shadow. What is the lack of vitality that's in there that's draining you and not allowing you to express this creation part of you? So she is considered the mother of the Vedas, the principal Hindu spiritual text. Okay, the divinatory meaning. Saraswathi appears before you bringing gifts of creativity and new knowing. She is the pure essence of the creative spirit, bringing a new dawn of this energy into your life. The birth of a project, the manifestation of a vision. The manifestation of a vision, Gemini. There is something within you. Give me a second. There is something within you that is wanting to be dreamed into manifestation through you. Okay? So Saraswathi is asking you to embody her. The birth of a project, the manifestation of a vision. She brings boons, particularly in the areas of music, learning, and the dissemination of culture. Her energy is pure, sattvic. In any creative endeavor you may be involved with, look for the pure essence of the idea. Hold that as sacred and let all radiate and unfold from you from that point of purity. Create a pure place in your consciousness into which to invite Saraswathi. Look for inner clarity. It's really important now for all of us, but Gemini, I would say Gemini specifically. Taking joy in solitude and solitary pursuits. The answer to something you have been thinking about for a long time suddenly becomes self-revealing. Insight leading to realization. Seeing something in a fresh, new way. Really good, because I want to also point out that number 4, youthful folly, is also about becoming childlike, seeing with fresh eyes. See, it's about becoming the child. It's also about growing it. See, with any archetype or with any energy set, there's the gift and there's the growth edge. It's always both and. Okay, so with youthful folly, it's about becoming more childlike, yet it's about grounding it in maturity. Now, that particular I Ching was talking about the energetic theme for you this month. It doesn't mean that you have to succumb to the theme and it lands on you. You are an empowered co-creator, so you utilize that particular cycle and you move that growth edge, you evolve that growth edge. See? But that does look like the energy thing is that childlike nature. So with Saraswathi, because keep in mind, the thing with the I Ching is there are 64 hexagrams in that hologram. And here, the Penny Slinger 64 Dakini Oracle is based on the 64 Yogini Dakinis of India. Again, 64. So we're starting and we're ending with this beautiful multicultural, spiritual connectedness of the 64 hologram. And a mandala. Let's see. Your words carry weight. Use them discerningly. That also links to, again, the growth edge for the child, for the youthful folly. Eloquence of speech, a good time for public speaking. So I think I'm going to leave it there. You know what? You know what I'm going to do? This is the Dakini transmission. So this is Saraswathi. This is what Penny wrote of Saraswathi speaking. I am the original vibration, the song of life that plays through all creation. All knowing flows through me as the universal melody, and I, the unstruck sound. So she is foundational. She is vibrational. She is this kind of base from which everything emerges. So creation for you, dear Geminis. If any of you need personal sessions, of course, I offer private sessions on Skype, and you can link to my website. The link is below this video. You can go to the services page and you can see your options for one or a package rate of mini sessions for a discount. If you become a patron, a monthly patron at $55, you get several things within that package at a great, very strong discounted rate. And otherwise, there are other goodies for you on the website: profiles, the archetypal profile, the symbolic profile, the relationship profile that I offer. So take a look at the link below if you're interested. I wish you a wonderful month ahead. Stay grounded, still yourself, meditate as much as you can, and I'll see you next month.